Is that why you didn't get caught up in what transpired in the 90s, which is known as the steroid era?
My dad was always saying, "Hey, you're not going to be the biggest. You're not going to be the strongest. You're not going to be the fastest. Just don't let nobody outwork you."
6 names. 6 people Ken Griffey Jr. absolutely hates. On Club Shay Shay, Jr. sat down and named them all. These were not just rivals or opponents. These were people who made him sick, people who betrayed him, people who ruined the game he loved. Let me walk you through every single one and show you why Jr. could never forgive them. Ken Griffey Jr. was one of the cleanest superstars baseball ever had. He played during the worst era of cheating and scandal. While other players shot up steroids and chased money, Jr. stayed pure. He played for love. He played for family. He played the right way. But that meant watching bad people succeed. It meant seeing liars get rich. It meant feeling pain from childhood all the way through his career. The 6 people on his list represent everything Jr. stood against. They are his moral enemies. They are the villains in his story. And this is why he hates every single one of them. Understanding Jr.'s hate list means understanding who he was as a person. He was not someone who held grudges for no reason. He was not petty. He was not mean-spirited. But he had a code. He had values. And when people violated those values, he remembered. He kept score. And he never let it go. That is what makes this list so powerful. These are not casual dislikes. These are deep wounds. These are moral offenses. These are betrayals that cut to his core. The first 2 names belong together. They are George Steinbrenner and Billy Martin. Both were part of the New York Yankees. Both hurt Jr. when he was just a kid. Both created a grudge that lasted 30 years. This is where the hate began. This is where a 13-year-old boy learned that baseball could be cruel. The year was 1983. Jr. was only 13 years old. His dad, Ken Griffey Sr., played for the Yankees. Jr. would visit his father at the stadium before games. Other players brought their kids too. It was normal. Kids would run around the field. They would take ground balls. They would hang out in the dugout. For Jr., it was magical. He got to see his dad work. He got to be around professional baseball players. He got to dream about his own future in the game. He was living every kid's fantasy. But one day, everything changed for Jr. A security guard walked up to Griffey Sr. in the dugout. He delivered a message. The message came straight from George Steinbrenner. Steinbrenner did not want anyone in the dugout. That meant Jr. had to leave, right now. No exceptions. Griffey Sr. told his son to go. But before Jr. walked away, his dad pointed toward third base. Jr. looked over. There was Greg Nettles' son. He was taking ground balls on the field. He was playing freely. Nobody told him to leave. Nobody kicked him out. Jr. was stunned. Why could that kid stay but not him? Why was he the only one getting kicked out? It felt like discrimination. It felt like the Yankees thought his family was not good enough. It felt like pure disrespect. And it came from the top. George Steinbrenner made that rule. Steinbrenner was the owner. He controlled everything. He was known as the boss. He ran the Yankees like a dictator. He fired managers constantly. He demanded perfection. He ruled through fear and intimidation. And on that day, he humiliated a 13-year-old kid who just wanted to watch his dad play baseball. Think about what that does to a child. Jr. looked up to his father. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues someday, and the Yankees made him feel unwanted. They made him feel small. They made him feel like he did not belong. That kind of pain does not go away. It stays with you. It shapes how you see the world. And for Jr., it shaped how he saw the Yankees forever. Jr. never forgot that moment. It burned into his memory. It shaped how he saw the Yankees forever. Steinbrenner became the symbol of everything wrong with the organization. Arrogance, unfairness, cruelty. The Yankees acted like they were better than everyone else. They acted like they owned baseball. They acted like rules only applied to other people. And Jr. saw through all of it. He saw the ugliness beneath the pinstripes. He saw the darkness behind the success. And he wanted nothing to do with it. Jr. carried that pain into his professional career. And when he became a star, he made the Yankees pay for it. Over and over again. Every time he stepped into Yankee Stadium, he remembered that day. He remembered being kicked out. He remembered watching another kid play while he was forced to leave. And it fueled him. It gave him power. It made him unstoppable. Throughout his career, the Yankees tried to sign Jr. They offered him big contracts. They promised him championships. They told him he could be the face of the franchise. But Jr. always said no. Every single time. He would never wear the pinstripes. He would never play for the organization that humiliated him. Money could not change his mind. Glory could not change his mind. Nothing could change his mind. The wound was too deep. Billy Martin was the second Yankee on the hate list. Martin was the manager. He was the enforcer. He was the guy who created the toxic environment that allowed Jr. to get kicked out. Martin had a history of hating kids in the clubhouse. He thought they were loud and annoying. He wanted them gone. When Jr. was only 11 years old, Martin sent someone to tell Griffey Sr. to keep his kids quiet. It was another act of aggression, another moment of disrespect. Billy Martin was a legendary player and manager, but he was also a mean drunk. He got into bar fights. He cursed out umpires. He punched his own players. He created chaos wherever he went. And when he managed the Yankees, he brought that toxic energy into the clubhouse. Kids were not welcome in Billy Martin's world. They disrupted his control. control. They reminded him that baseball was supposed to be fun, and Billy Martin did not believe in fun. He believed in winning at any cost. Together, Steinbrenner and Martin formed the foundation of Junior's hatred for the Yankees. Steinbrenner made the policy. Martin enforced it. Both treated the Griffey family like they were beneath them. Both created an environment of hostility and shame. Junior took it personally. He took it deeply, and he held that grudge for 3 decades. That grudge became fuel. In 1995, Junior faced the Yankees in the playoffs. It was the American League Division Series. The Yankees were favored to win. They had a powerful lineup. They had great pitching. They had all the advantages. But they did not have what Junior had. They did not have his motivation. They did not have his anger. They did not have his need for revenge. Junior destroyed them. He hit 5 home runs in the series. 5 home runs in 5 games. It was legendary. He carried the Mariners to victory. He drove in the winning run in Game 5. The Kingdom went crazy. Fans screamed until their voices were gone. And Junior rounded the bases with the biggest smile on his face. It was the ultimate revenge. He used his talent to embarrass the organization that embarrassed him as a child. He showed them that the kid they kicked out of the dugout had become the best player in baseball. He showed them that their cruelty had created their worst nightmare. A player who would never forget, a player who would never forgive. And when reporters asked him years later about his favorite memory at Yankee Stadium, he said it simply: leaving Yankee Stadium. That was his favorite memory, walking out, because he hated everything the place represented. The arrogance, the entitlement, the cruelty. It all came flooding back every time he was there. And the only good feeling he ever had in that building was the feeling of leaving it behind. People always wondered why Junior never signed with the Yankees. Sports writers called it a mystery. Analysts tried to figure it out, but it was never a mystery to Junior. It was simple. They disrespected him as a child, and he never forgot. That is the power of treating people badly. It comes back to haunt you. Steinbrenner could have had the greatest player of a generation, but his arrogance cost him. His cruelty cost him. And Junior made sure he paid the price on the biggest stage. The third name on the list is Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod. This one hurts in a different way. This was not childhood trauma. This was adult betrayal. This was watching someone you trusted become everything you despised. This was learning that even the people closest to you could sell out. Junior and A-Rod were supposed to be brothers. They were both #1 draft picks for the Seattle Mariners. Junior was drafted in 1987. A-Rod came in 1993. They were the future of the franchise. 2 generational talents playing together. They were going to build a dynasty. They were going to win championships. They had a bond. A-Rod looked up to Junior. Junior mentored him. They hung out together. They trained together. They talked about bringing a World Series to Seattle. Everything seemed perfect. Junior taught A-Rod how to handle fame. He showed him how to deal with media. He gave him advice on staying focused. He treated him like a little brother, and A-Rod soaked it all up. He learned from the best. He watched how Junior carried himself, how Junior never let success change him, how Junior always put the team first. It seemed like A-Rod was learning the right lessons. It seemed like he would follow in Junior's footsteps, but it was all fake. But then the money came, and everything fell apart. At the turn of the millennium, both players left Seattle. Junior went to the Cincinnati Reds. He said he left for family. His parents lived in Cincinnati. His kids needed stability. He wanted to be close to home. And here is the important part. Junior took less money to make it happen. He signed a deal worth $116 million over 9 years, but he could have made tens of millions more elsewhere. He left money on the table. He chose family over greed. He chose values over wealth. He chose what mattered over what paid. A-Rod did the opposite. He signed with the Texas Rangers for $252 million over 10 years. It was the biggest contract in baseball history at the time. It was pure greed. A-Rod chased the money. He chased fame. He chased status. He abandoned Seattle for a payday, and Junior saw it as betrayal. The contrast between them was brutal. Junior represented baseball at its best. He played for love. He played for family. He played with integrity. He took less money to stay true to his values. He walked away from fortune to be close to his parents. He showed the world that some things matter more than cash. A-Rod represented the era of douchery and money grabs. He played for himself. He played for cash. He played for attention. He took the biggest contract in history and left the city that loved him. He showed the world that nothing mattered more than his bank account. Fans in Seattle noticed the difference immediately. They respected Junior for his values. They understood why he left. They wished him well. But A-Rod? They hated A-Rod. They booed him every time he came back to town. They made signs calling him a traitor. They threw things at him. They screamed insults. The anger was real. The betrayal was deep. And Junior watched all of it happen. Junior felt vindicated in 2001. By then, A-Rod had become the most hated man in Seattle. Fans booed him every time he came back to town. Junior said he was relieved. He was no longer the most hated man. A-Rod had taken that title, and Junior felt like the truth was finally out. Everyone could see that A-Rod was the sellout. Everyone could see that Junior was honest. A-Rod's greed had exposed him as a fraud. The money grab had revealed his true character, and Seattle fans knew the difference between someone who left for family and someone who left for greed. But it got worse. Years later, A-Rod became involved in the steroid scandal. He admitted to using performance-enhancing drugs. He lied about it for years. He denied everything. He blamed others. He played the victim. And then the truth came out. He had been cheating the whole time. He cheated the game. He cheated his teammates. He cheated the fans. And for Junior, it was the final proof. A-Rod's pursuit of money and fame came with a total lack of integrity. He sold out in every way possible. possible. He became everything Junior hated about modern baseball. Junior must have felt so much satisfaction watching A-Rod's downfall. All those years of people questioning Junior's decision to take less money. All those years of analysts saying A-Rod made the smart choice. All those years of watching A-Rod get praised for his numbers. And then the truth came out. The numbers were fake. The success was chemical. The legacy was contaminated. Junior had been right all along. Taking less money to maintain your integrity was the smart choice. Staying clean while others juiced was the right choice. Choosing values over fame was the only choice. And A-Rod proved it by destroying his own reputation through greed and cheating. The fourth and fifth names are Barry Bonds and Sammy Sosa. These two are grouped together because they represent the same thing: steroids, cheating, the destruction of competitive purity. Junior hated them for contaminating the game he loved. In the 1990s, Junior competed in the great home run race. He was chasing the all-time home run record. So were Bonds and Sosa. It was supposed to be a fair competition, the best players in the world battling for greatness. Fans watched every game. Sports shows tracked every home run. It was the most exciting time in baseball, but it was not fair because Bonds and Sosa were juicing. Junior stayed clean. He never used steroids. He never cheated. He played the game the right way, and because of that, he fell behind. Bonds hit 762 career home runs. Sosa hit 609. Junior hit 630. But Junior's numbers were real. Bonds and Sosa were frauds. Their records meant nothing. Their achievements were fake. Their legacies were contaminated. The hatred for Bonds runs especially deep. There is a story that Bonds visited Junior's house in Orlando. During that visit, Bonds allegedly told Junior he was about to start using steroids. He told him directly, face to face. Junior was shocked. He was disgusted, but he said nothing. He chose to stay silent. That silence was his protest. He refused to join the cheating. He refused to compromise his values, and he refused to speak out because of the unwritten code among players. Imagine being in that position. Your rival comes to your house. He looks you in the eye, and he tells you he is about to cheat. He tells you he is about to gain an unfair advantage. He tells you he is about to destroy the integrity of the competition. What do you do? Junior could have exposed him. He could have told the media. He could have blown the whistle, but he did not. Because there is a code. Players do not snitch on other players, even when those players are about to ruin the game. But inside, Junior was furious. He was competing on an uneven playing field. He was losing records to chemically enhanced rivals. He was watching the game get destroyed by greed and fraud. And Bonds was at the center of it all. Bonds was the most talented player of his generation, but he was also the most corrupt. He chose to cheat even though he was already great. He chose to destroy the integrity of the sport for personal glory, and Junior never forgave him for that. Bonds did not need steroids. He was already a Hall of Fame player before he started juicing. He already had multiple MVP awards. He was already considered one of the greatest players ever, but it was not enough for him. He wanted more. He wanted the home run record. He wanted to be remembered as the best ever, and he was willing to cheat to get there. That is what Junior hated most. The greed, the lack of respect for the game, the willingness to destroy something beautiful just for personal glory. Sammy Sosa was just as bad. Sosa's body transformation was cartoonish. He went from a lean player to a muscle-bound giant. It was obvious he was using something. Anyone with eyes could see it. His head got bigger, his muscles bulged, his power numbers exploded, and baseball did nothing about it. They let it happen. They encouraged it. Because home runs sold tickets. Steroids were good for business. And Sosa was hitting home runs like crazy. And then came the corked bat scandal. Sosa got caught using an illegal bat. It was another layer of cheating. Another sign that he had no respect for the rules. He tried to claim it was an accident. He said he used that bat for batting practice, but nobody believed him. He was a cheater, plain and simple. And the corked bat just confirmed what everyone already knew. Junior saw Bonds and Sosa as the collective shame of the steroid era. They degraded the sport. They made a mockery of the home run record. They turned competition into a chemical arms race. And Junior wanted no part of it. His hatred for them was rooted in ethics. It was rooted in disgust. It was rooted in the pain of watching cheaters win while he stayed clean. Every home run Bonds hit felt like a theft. Every record Sosa broke felt like a lie. And Junior had to watch it all happen. He had to smile for the cameras. He had to answer questions about the home run race. He had to pretend like it was all fair competition. But deep down, he knew the truth, and it ate at him. When Junior was inducted into the Hall of Fame, he got in with 99.3% of the vote. It was one of the highest percentages ever. Meanwhile, Bonds and Sosa faced massive resistance. Many voters refused to vote for them because of steroids. The contrast was clear. Junior was celebrated as a clean legend. Bonds and Sosa were punished for their fraud. And for Junior, that was justice. The voters got it right. They understood the difference between real greatness and chemical greatness. They understood that Junior's 630 home runs meant more than Bonds' 762. Because Junior's home runs were honest. The sixth and final name is Albert Belle. This one is different. Belle was not a cheater. He was not a greedy sellout. He was not an institutional enemy. Belle was just dangerous. He was volatile. He was aggressive. And he made Junior's life hell on the field. Albert Belle had one of the worst reputations in baseball. He was known for his explosive temper. He fought with opponents. He fought with teammates. He fought with reporters. One time he threw a baseball at a fan. Another time he destroyed a clubhouse. He was constantly on the edge of violence. He was a ticking time bomb. And when the Mariners played against him, Junior had to deal with that chaos constantly. There was an incident where Belle threw a pitch that nearly hit Junior. Junior was visibly upset. He knew Belle was reckless. He knew Belle played with anger and no control. It was not about competition. It was about danger. Belle's aggression put other players at risk, and Junior hated having to navigate that volatility. Every at-bat against Belle's team felt dangerous. Every game felt like it could explode into violence. That is not how baseball should be played, but Junior got his revenge. On May 5th, 1996, Belle hit a ball deep to center field. It looked like a home run. Everyone in the stadium thought it was gone. Belle started his home run trot. The crowd started cheering, but Junior had other plans. He timed his leap perfectly. He jumped at the wall in the kingdom. He reached over the fence, and he robbed Belle of the home run. It was one of the greatest catches in baseball history, and it was poetic justice. That moment defined their rivalry. Belle represented raw power and chaos. Junior represented grace and discipline. Belle played with rage. Junior played with joy. And in that moment, Junior showed that elegance could defeat aggression. Talent could defeat anger. Purity could defeat chaos. It was not just a great catch. It was a statement. It said that Junior's way of playing was better. It said that skill and grace would always beat rage and power. Junior's hatred for Belle was rooted in professional opposition. Belle was everything Junior was not. He was unstable. He was dangerous. He was toxic. And Junior wanted to neutralize him. Every time they faced each other, it was a battle of temperaments. And Junior won. Not just with that catch, but with his entire approach to the game. Junior loved baseball. Belle seemed to hate it. Junior smiled and laughed. Belle scowled and cursed. Junior made the game look easy. Belle made it look violent. And fans could see the difference. These 6 names tell a story. They tell the story of Ken Griffey Jr.'s values. They tell the story of his pain. They tell the story of his integrity. And when you look at them all together, you see something important. You see a man who refused to compromise. Steinbrenner and Martin hurt him as a child. They humiliated him. They created institutional cruelty. And Junior never forgot. He turned that pain into power. He used it to dominate the Yankees for years. He made them pay every chance he got. A-Rod betrayed him as an adult. He chose money over loyalty. He chose greed over integrity. And Junior saw it as a moral failure. He watched A-Rod become everything he despised. And when the steroid scandal broke, Junior knew he had been right all along. Bonds and Souza contaminated the game. They cheated. They lied. They destroyed competitive purity. And Junior stayed clean as a silent protest. He competed against cheaters and refused to become one. That took incredible strength. Belle represented chaos. He played with anger and recklessness. And Junior defeated him with grace. He showed the world that talent beats rage every time. Each name on this list represents a violation of Junior's values. Each one stands for something he refused to become. Steinbrenner and Martin were arrogant and cruel. Junior was humble and kind. A-Rod was greedy and disloyal. Junior was principled and true. Bonds and Souza were frauds and cheaters. Junior was honest and clean. Belle was volatile and dangerous. Junior was joyful and safe. Junior played for family. He played for love. He played clean. He played with joy. He never sold out. He never cheated. He never folded to baseball's dark side. And his hate list became a kind of moral compass. It showed the world what he stood against. It showed the world what he refused to accept. It showed the world who he really was. Think about how rare that is. Most people compromise. Most people give in. Most people take the easy path. But not Junior. He had chances to join the Yankees and make millions. He said no. He had chances to use steroids and break records. He said no. He had chances to chase money over family. He said no. Every time the world offered him a shortcut, he refused. Every time someone asked him to compromise his values, he walked away. That is why his legacy matters. That is why people still talk about him with reverence. That is why he got 99.3% of the Hall of Fame vote. Because he represented something pure in a dirty era. Because he stood for integrity when everyone else was selling out. Because he never blinked. Looking back at Junior's career now, we can see the full picture. We can see how special he really was. Not just because of his talent. Not just because of his smile. Not just because of his backward hat. But because of his character. Because of his values. Because of his refusal to compromise. He played in the steroid era and stayed clean. He could have made more money but chose family. He could have played for the Yankees but held his grudge. He could have been friends with cheaters but kept his distance. Every decision he made was guided by his moral code. Every choice reflected his values. Every action showed the world who he truly was. And that is why this hate list matters so much. It is not about being bitter. It is not about holding grudges. It is about standing for something. It is about drawing a line in the sand and saying, this is who I am and this is what I will not tolerate. Junior's hate list is his declaration of independence. It is his mission statement. It is his way of telling the world exactly what he believed in. When Junior named these 6 people on Club Shay Shay, he was not being petty. He was being honest. He was being authentic. He was showing the world that even legends have enemies. Even heroes have villains. Even the cleanest players in baseball history had people they could not stand. And that makes him more real, more human, more relatable. The beauty of Junior's story is that his enemies made him stronger. They did not break him. They built him. Steinbrenner and Martin created the fire that burned inside him every time he faced the Yankees. A-Rod showed him what happens when you choose money over integrity. Bonds and Souza proved that cheating always catches up to you. Belle demonstrated that chaos loses to grace. Each villain taught Junior a lesson. Each enemy enemy reinforced his values. Each person on his hate list made him more determined to do things the right way. And in the end, Junior won. Not just on the field, but in life. He got his Hall of Fame plaque. He got his legacy. He got his respect. And he got it all without compromising who he was, without selling his soul, without sacrificing his values. He won by being himself, by staying true, by never blinking. That is the real lesson of Ken Griffey Jr.'s hate list. It is not about hating people. It is about loving something so much that you refuse to let anyone destroy it. Junior loved baseball. He loved integrity. He loved his family. He loved doing things the right way. And when people threatened those things, he remembered. He kept score. He made them pay. What makes Junior different from other players is that he never wavered. Other players talked about integrity but gave in to temptation. Other players said family mattered but chased money. Other players claimed to love the game but destroyed it with cheating. Junior was different. He lived his values every single day. He made hard choices and stuck with them. He faced pressure and never cracked. Think about the pressure he was under during the steroid era. Everyone around him was getting bigger. Everyone was hitting more home runs. Everyone was breaking records. And Junior could have joined them. Nobody would have known. Nobody would have caught him. But he said no, because it was wrong. Because it went against everything he believed in. Because his integrity meant more than any record. That is why his hate for Bonds and Sosa runs so deep. They had a choice. They could have stayed clean. They could have competed fairly. But they chose the easy way. They chose chemicals over character. And Junior had to watch them pass him in the record books. He had to watch them get praised while he stayed pure. That kind of pain creates lasting hate. The same goes for A-Rod. Junior showed him the right way. He mentored him. He taught him how to handle success. And A-Rod threw it all away for money. That kind of betrayal cuts deep. That kind of disloyalty creates permanent enemies. Junior gave A-Rod everything, and A-Rod chose greed. And the Yankees? They created the foundation for everything. They taught young Junior that the world could be cruel. They showed him that power corrupts. They demonstrated that institutions care more about control than people. And Junior never forgot those lessons. He carried them his entire career. Years from now, when people look back on the steroid era, Junior will stand out. He will be remembered as the one who stayed clean, the one who did it right, the one who never compromised. And these 6 names will be remembered as the ones who failed, the ones who sold out, the ones who destroyed what Junior fought to protect. That is Junior's ultimate victory, not the home runs, not the gold gloves, not even the Hall of Fame induction. His ultimate victory is that he gets to sleep at night knowing he never cheated anyone. He never lied. He never betrayed his values. He stayed true from beginning to end, and nobody can ever take that away from him. The hate list is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign of strength. It shows that Junior cared deeply about the right things. It shows that he held people accountable. It shows that he never forgot when someone violated his code. And in a world where everyone forgives and forgets, where scandals get swept under the rug, where cheaters get second chances, Junior's refusal to forgive is powerful. It is a statement that some things matter too much to forget. When kids today look at Junior's career, they see the smile. They see the backward hat. They see the incredible catches and the beautiful swing. But they should also see this. They should see a man who stood for something, a man who drew lines, a man who said no when everyone else said yes. That is what makes him a true legend. His hate for these 6 people is not a flaw. It is a feature. It is proof that he cared. It is proof that he paid attention. It is proof that when people did wrong, he remembered, and he made sure the world knew. That takes courage. That takes conviction. That takes character. In a sport full of scandal and compromise, Griffey never blinked. He held on to his values even when it cost him records, even when it cost him money, even when it cost him glory. He stayed true to himself, and that is why his legacy is untouchable. Nobody can take it away from him. Nobody can question it. Nobody can taint it with scandal or cheating or greed. These 6 names are not just people Junior hated. They are the people who defined what he loved. They are the villains in his story. And by standing against them, Junior became one of the few legends who never needed forgiveness. He has nothing to apologize for, nothing to explain, nothing to justify. His career speaks for itself. His integrity speaks for itself. His legacy speaks for itself. If you want more raw, honest stories like this, hit like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments. Who do you think Griffey hated most?